been quite a week for you. You've been attacked not by name and then again by name. What do you think about what's going on?
So many things. Obviously, I mean, my mind is racing about a lot of things, and but my first thought was, okay, well, he threw Lenny under the bus, but sorry, Councillor Joe. But why did Councillor Joe then expand it to those other councillors if this was about me the whole time? He translated the mayor's comments, and it also just shows poor leadership on the mayor there. And the first thing I thought of was like, who does this? What kind of, I know it's politics, but who does this? This just reminded me of what's happening down south, and with the far right sort of weaponizing these things, weaponizing disinformation and spreading lies, for political gain. The question that he was answering in that video was about polling. It wasn't about a policy. It wasn't about sort of maybe we have disagreements on certain issues. It was about polling. It was about getting reelected. And that to me is about, hanging on to power and using that power to hurt someone, to hurt me, to hurt the Chinese community, by preying on their very legitimate anxieties. And it hurts democracy. It hurts Vancouver. It makes us look unserious as a city.
I was under the impression that this is something that came up during a discussion about supportive housing. I know that's what it was in council, but is that not what Lenny Zhao was talking to?
That's what Lenny Zhao was talking to on the WeChat video, and but no, in the video of the mayor, it was a question about polling, and he said, look, Sean Orr's handing out drugs on Christmas Day. If that's why the polling people agree with that. I don't agree with that, and so I mean, to me, that makes it it's a very partisan issue. It's not. It's about him sort of staying in power.
Just so we have it on the record in an official way, how do you respond to the allegations, Councillor Orr?
I deny them unequivocally. I was not in Vancouver. I certainly wasn't handing out drugs. I've never handed out free illegal drugs. I mean, I bought my assistant a bottle of scotch, but I don't think that's what the mayor is talking about. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely defamatory. It's defamation.
You spoke with my colleague Gloria Makarenko on Tuesday following the initial apology by Councillor Zhao, and he retracted his comments. He apologized. He says he deleted the video. He has not, as far as I know, Councillor Maloney mentioned this earlier, made an apology on WeChat yet or issued a correction on WeChat. We're not sure whether he has. Mayor Ken Sim also issued a statement thanking Councillor Zhao for acknowledging his mistake, and you said at the time that really wasn't an apology. And so now with this new detail coming to light, how are you taking that apology from Sim now?
Yeah, it just makes it even sort of more insidious, right? It just waters down the whole thing, and I don't know. I don't think I can trust him. I don't think the Vancouverites can trust what comes next. And if he doesn't, go on to that very media that he was speaking to in that video, if he doesn't go on WeChat and sort of heal those divides, I think it's worthless. And he did phone me. I will say that. And he did phone me to apologize. And the mayor did. Yeah,
the mayor did.
Yes, he did.
What did he say?
Well, he said I had false information, and I said, well, what do you mean? Like, who are you getting your advice from? Like Twitter bots? Like, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Why? Like, you're a mayor of the third largest city in Canada. Are you just like responding to these whisper campaigns? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And I told him that. And I also said, politics aside, like man to man, why would you do that to hurt someone? I've been very open about my past. I've been open to the electorate, to the public about this. And
you're a supporter of harm reduction.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, and did you support when there was a project out there to give people drugs, untainted drugs, because were you a supporter of that?
Yeah, I think that's what we need. I think we need to have an unregulated, safe supply, just like we have with alcohol. Absolutely. But so does ABC. ABC ran on this in 2022. They ran on safe supply and harm reduction. And Lenny himself, I have to pull it up here, in February 2024, said, it's disheartening to see some elected officials and community leaders denying harm reduction for their political gains. And here we are, one year later, 2 years later, and now that's exactly what they're doing. They are denying harm reduction for their political gains.
So then, I mean, these are very specific accusations that are coming from ABC. Where do you think this is all coming from then? I mean, it's obviously some opinions have changed since over the past couple of years.
I'm not sure. I mean, is it polling? Is it, sort of are they getting sort of pulled into this, like I said, far right sort of arena, of where they're, doubling down and attacking, vulnerable people. And things like that, because we're seeing it. We're seeing it, with, we saw it in the federal election with Polyev. We saw it, we're seeing it with 1BC. These kind of really just, very, in my view, very far right sort of like political tactics. And so I think that's kind of where it's coming from.
What are your options now? Does this amount to defamation as far as you're concerned? Because they were publicly made statements.
Absolutely. I mean, this is hurtful to me. It makes me very difficult to do my job. I was in a public hearing yesterday. I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't focus. I couldn't listen to the speakers, very properly. I tried to make the best decision, I could. But it's, and what does this mean for me when I go out, campaigning? And especially when I go to Chinatown. I live right next to Chinatown. What are people going to think of me? Are they going to be afraid of me? Are they going to be, are they going to want to attack me? I don't know. It's brutal. That's basically the definition of defamation. And I think it's criminal defamation. Obviously, that's not my call. It's pretty rare when that's sort of prosecuted for sure. But yeah, I'm considering all my options.
Have you spoken with a lawyer?
I'm considering all my options. Absolutely. Yeah. So I haven't yet, but
okay.
Yeah.
And what about the integrity commissioner? Does this fall under code of conduct as well?
Absolutely. This 100% would fall under the code of conduct. What concerns me too is that the power to sanction under that legislation is council, and council has a majority. And Councillor Fry actually tried to give teeth to the integrity commissioner's office by giving the integrity commissioner the power to sanction in these instances, because they're not going to sanction themselves. Yeah. So I mean, it's great, and hopefully that process goes well. But in the end, it's nothing really meaningful is going to come out of it.
Any ABC councillors come up to you and offer any kind of support or anything?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to name names here. I think it's up to them if they want to go public and denounce what the mayor said, their own mayor. Absolutely, I think I would encourage them to do that. But I think they're shocked, they're upset too. Like I said, people want to see a functioning city council. They want to see us getting along. They want to see us making decisions that are best for Vancouver. And a mayor brings people together, doesn't divide people.
Councillor Orr, thank you so much for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me.
That is Vancouver City Councillor Sean Orr.